Kilifi. When we come down here, we are in Mombasa. So, but thank you and good to see all of you. My name is Kennedy Kachwanya, Chair of the Bloggers Association of Kenya, BEC. I met some of you guys. I've seen new faces. So it's good to see you today. As Fatuma was saying, we want this event to be very interactive. So it means if we are talking about misinformation or digital divide, I'm not here as an expert. Actually, I'm just here to, start the conversation. And then I would like to hear from you guys. So don't wait until Q&A, as she was saying, that every session will be followed by Q&A. If you have something at any given point as I'm speaking, just alert me, then we have that conversation at every given point. I don't think we are so many, so I think it would be good if we know who is in the room, yeah? If you don't mind, can I start with you? Okay, sir.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vonette Bright. I'm a student of journalism and mass communication at Mount Kenya University.
Hello, everyone. Morning. My name is Fatma Bidu. I'm from Raya TV. I'm a TV presenter.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Omar Abdallah, or Omidala. I'm a blogger, journalist, and chairman Mombasa Press Club.
Very good.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Blessing Sigule. I'm a student of journalism and mass communication, Technical University of Mombasa. Good morning. My name is Mariam Saleh. I'm a freelance journalist.
Good morning. My name is Omar Matano. I'm a student of mass communication and journalism, Mombasa Aviation.
Good morning. My name is Gladys Marura, freelance journalist.
Good morning. My name is Agneto Kwemba, journalist from Blue Radio.
Hi everyone. My name is Talia Kwekwe. I'm a reporter. I work for Radio Kaya.
Jambo. Naitwa Maureen Mudi, nafanya na Media Council of Kenya.
Morning, everyone. My name is Sharon Adisa, blogger at Kendesk Digital.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Valerie Lohanyu. I'm in charge of communication at the Bloggers Association of Kenya.
Morning, everyone. My name is Hilda. I'm taking my attachment at KBC, specifically Pony FM.
Hi, everyone. My name is Douglas Sapayan, and I work for the Media Council of Kenya. Thank you.
Habari asubuhi. Naitwa Ben Serem, Media Council of Kenya.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mir Thakur, and I'm CEO of Mir Marketing and Digital and Influencer Marketing Agency. It's my honor to be here with you all today.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Hannah Wachayu. I'm the accountant at BEC. Thank you.
Yeah, Hannah is the one who makes sure that if you registering. So, to space, the media space, because there's that big convergence between the traditional media and what the current digital space is. What long time ago, what we were like bloggers one side, or content creators or citizen journalists on one side, and traditional media on the other side, that is gone. Now we are one thing. So it's a media space that includes the traditional media space, as well as now the new media, what now we call citizen journalists. Of course, there's still a lot of discussion whether bloggers are trained, citizen journalists are trained, or people need to go to school. But those are just small things. The main point is technology has converged the whole thing. And that's why the topic of the digital divide is so important today, as well as the misinformation in the space. So, my people at BEC will want me to first introduce what BEC is before I go to this topic. For those who don't know, BEC, Bloggers Association of Kenya, we have been around for a while now, founded in 2011. And initially, we were basically about bloggers at the beginning. But obviously, as I'm saying, everything has converged. Now the content creator is the case. So we connect both bloggers in Kenya as well as content creators, all of them generally. Whether you are a podcaster, whether you are a YouTuber, whether you are a TikToker, all of that. We have umbrella there. And we are working to see how we can ensure that everyone feel connected, everyone feel welcome within the organization. Of course, main point about blogs obviously is how we look at it. That when you own a blog, you own your own media channel. You can be on this social media platform, but when one day Elon will wake up and say you are suspended, you're suspended. Nobody suspend your blog. That's why, as most as the young generation, the TikTokers will say, bloggers, you guys are very old. What we are saying, we have seen this. You have your TikTok today. If there is politics around it, tomorrow that account is gone. I registered my blog, kachwanya.com, in 2008. It's still my blog. Nobody can suspend it, regardless of what I say. So I always advocate that as much as you like your TikTok account, or Twitter X account, or Facebook account, at least own your own space. Register a blog. Just register a blog. Have your content created there. There was this lady in Nigeria that used to do very well. Actually, at one point, she was the richest blogger in Africa. Then people started reporting that she was pirating content. And all of a sudden, she lost all that because accounts suspended and all that stuff. So that's why, and I'm not saying this because I'm a chair of the Blog Association. Of course, I'm saying that also. But I'm just telling you the reality that some of these accounts are good as well as the owners of the digital platform or the social media platform, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, as long as the owner is agree that you own it. But if you register your own blog, then that is, you own it. You are like Elon Musk. You own your space. You are like Nation Media. You own your channel. So that would be one pitch that I will tell you that you should have your own blog. Now, BEC, these are our programs, and this is the last part I'm talking about BEC. So we do membership development, and what this means is we help in a number of areas. Technical training, and we have done training in Mombasa a number of times actually. So that's one thing. We do the technical support. If you have a problem, if you are a member and you have a blog, you have an account anywhere, our IT people will always be on hand to help with your challenges. If you are starting in the space and you become a member, we also help you to see how you do. There's also the advocacy policy and research. So advocacy, we try to ensure that the media space, and this is why the journalists in the house, be welcome and feel at home. Because one of the things we do so constantly is to ensure that the media space, the freedom of media is protected. And you might not know, but if you go back to online and Google, you will find that the big challenge, one of the law that now is a big issue for everyone in Kenya, the Computer Misuse Act. We challenged that law when it was still, and the whole thing is still in court. We had appeal, and still, of course, at this point, even judges feel like, you content creators attack them. So even them, they are not fast-tracking our case. Yeah. But we have done that. Last year we had a case with the ICT authority in terms of their blocking people online instead of just allowing you to see what they are posting. So advocacy is one thing, and advocacy in this case is all about the media and the journalists and the freedom of the press and the freedom of the media. Policy, we have involved in a lot of policy, especially issues to do with the law. During the last year during the finance bill, we presented a number of the policy documents to the parliament, trying to advocate for, the digital space to be favorable for everyone. The same as we do a lot of research. Every year we always have this thing, state of internet research, where we try to see what is happening there. So if you go to ifreedom.co.ke, you will see a number of reports that we have produced. Of course, raising awareness and upholding standards. There's something that we call BIC Awards. Over the years, we have done the awards. And the awards is always to ensure that the standard of content is up there. And this is the reason why the journalists and people say, these bloggers are not good enough. We're trying to ensure that the standard is up there for everyone. But now, journalists are also becoming content creators online. So this standard praising is all both sides of the coin. Then, of course, digital agency. Once in a while, we work with people we call influencers and bloggers. And in that case, what we do is, if we get a client and we know that we are good on a certain platform and they want to use that platform, let's say X, Instagram, or even TikTok, so these are part of the perks of being member of BEC, that we do that. Yes, so of course, now my people at BEC can go back and say that I marketed the organization, so they won't have a problem with me. Now let's go back to what brought us here, right? Misinformation. Let's start with that. Yeah? First, it's becoming a global challenge. And I don't know if you guys are very active on the current happening in Kenya, but the PS of the Foreign Affairs, Kenyan Foreign Affairs PS, yesterday or the day before, shared what we call deepfake. Do you guys know what we call deepfake? For those who have no idea what deepfake means, is AI, artificial intelligence. So they create, like they take my voice, they take my image or any video, and then create a story, and then it's created like I'm saying something, which I'm not saying. So we call it, the technology people call it deepfake. So the Foreign Affairs PS shared a story done by Farid. The guy is called Farid Zakaria from CNN, praising Kenya's process of peace in Sudan or something like that. But that was fake. And I remember yesterday seeing him apologizing. But the funny thing that even the apology was done with AI again. But anyway, that's one big challenge now. When people talk about fake news and misinformation, for a while as BIC, we have been in this space where we have to defend content creators, that content creators are the people spreading falsehood online. All media people, all bloggers are the one doing this. But with the time you realize that this is a global challenge. Now you see a top government official sharing something that doesn't exist. That's just now he has to apologize to CNN and everyone and saying, yeah. So it's a big challenge. And that's one of the reasons why today discussion, we need to try to figure out how do we move forward in this misinformation, especially ecosystem of misinformation, because it has an ecosystem. There are people who come up with this thing. Nairobi stay in Kajiado. So if there's some people stay in Ngong, Kitengela, those areas. So that's why it will make sense that Kajiado is second. Then Nakuru. Then the lowest is in Masabit, Mandera, that. Now, this report is a household survey. You can get it from their net. But I wanted to just illustrate what the digital divide is. Yeah, the digital divide is, especially among the urban centers and the rural population, as well as households of different regions. So, what are the opportunities to bridge the digital divide? Again, the digital divide thing, somebody is going to talk more about it. I'm just touching on this. Yeah? I'm just touching on it. So, I'll look at how do we bridge it. There is a bigger aspect of how to do this, and especially the government in terms of connection, the internet providers, ISPs. They have a bigger role. But as content creators, yeah, as the media people, what's our role? What can we do? Yeah, and this is what I'm coming up with. I'm not looking at what government can do because I have no power in that. The government has their own programs. So the things like fiber optic connection between the counties, those are being done. They call it digital superhighway. And so the government talk about that a lot. And hopefully, we hope they do more based on that survey that I was quoting earlier. But so as digital, as the content creators, as big and any media person in the room, what can we do in our capacity? And one of the things is the digital literacy programs. Yeah. So when we're talking about forward as received, the best thing would be if you ensure that people understand what they are forwarding instead of just forward as received. So if you get information which is not right and you understand the digital space, then the whole aspect of forward as received will not be there. But the digital literacy programs is important. And this is now upon every individual in the room to go out there and, train your folks, train your grandma, if they have a phone, because people now have these smartphones everywhere. Let them not be misled. We have these Nigerians who keep on saying, my dad died and he left for me millions of shillings. You guys, they call it Yahoo boys in Nigeria. Yeah? They said, like, my dad was in a general in war, he left me millions of shillings, and the only thing that stopping me from accessing it is bank account. If you agree, I will leave for you 10% as long as I transfer it there. The first thing you start doing is now you start talking about your ID, yeah, and then your bank account. So you give this person ID, you give him bank account. The next thing is these people in your bank account. Yeah? So cybersecurity in Kenya, banks don't talk about this, but a lot of people lose money, and a lot of banks lose money because of that. And it comes out because of limited digital literacy. Yeah, limited digital literacy. Yeah, that is not even that, even M-Pesa. I don't know if you have seen these people who call you and like, nilikutumia pesa. Now say just send the M-Pesa message the way it appears, then they send you on your phone, and then they guess your total M-Pesa amount. They say, I send you 4,000 there by mistake. These are conmen. This has happened to most people, and people lose money. And the reason is limited digital literacy. Yeah? And sometimes it's happened for people who are very, very smart. Yeah? Very smart. They lose money. So we need to check how we look at how we deal with the digital literacy programs. And I'm just turning it to individual, or if you are within an organization that able to educate people, that will be important. Then local content. Online content creators as trusted voices. Guys, what do we write about? You are a blogger, you are a journalist. I know we like writing about politics, yeah? But there's simple things that really help people, yeah? I've had a lot of student journalists in the room. And at this point, I'm just saying this, and I know there's content creators in the room. What do we write about? This is important because there are many of these things that happen. But when you go online, you don't find any credible information that can help you. Yeah? We are talking about, I was talking about these Nigerians who sent this email. I don't think there's anybody who has gone online and written very comprehensive article about it and how to avoid it and what to see, how to spot them. Even SIM swap, the Safaricom SIM swap. Yes, there is there. People are saying this happened. But is there people who have written comprehensive articles about the SIM swap? Or the con men who call you about your M-Pesa messages? Trusted voices. How do we get trusted if we are not doing content that really help our people? If the big companies give the money, it's a good article. But that one which goes to Google, AI and US, you won't see it. So big tech takes money. The next one is also you people, the content creators. You are also influencers. Not long time ago, that money was going to their money was going to the media and the more real there. Now the influencers are also taking some. So that's why media is struggling. But that's not even that alone. The content itself is not, they don't. You know, long time we used to wait for KBC to announce it. Yeah? Those people who grew up are a bit old. Yeah? If you're like me, you will know that there's a time when KBC was Baba and Mama. You wake up, the first thing you hear is Amuka Muende Shamba, Mekucha. Yeah? And it's open at 5, yeah? In the morning. So that's when you're going to class one day. Your dad is already, you put the radio on. Yeah? Amuka Muende Shamba, watoto Amuka Muende Shule. At 5, that's when the KBC used to happen. Then later on, of course, the like of KTN, Nation came in, and then they turned it to 24/7 channel. Now what I'm saying is media doesn't have the monopoly on information or news. That's why now we don't buy newspaper. You know, when I was coming out of campus, one of the things that people used to be idle is every evening, somebody who just graduated, every evening you carry the daily, the business daily. Yeah? Like 3 of them, yeah? And so this is a new person who has started working recently. Yeah? Yeah? Now you guys don't know even the price of the newspaper. Do you guys know? When did you last buy newspaper? None of you buy. Even the one for the office you don't read. The free one. The free one. Do you guys read the one they usually put at the reception desk? The headline. Oh, okay. You don't read. Now you see. Because you had seen the whatever there in yesterday, you had seen it. You had seen it on your phone. So media is struggling because of so many things. But that does not mean media. So that's why I was saying partnership. How do we overcome this? We have to look together. We have to work together. We have to look at how we are doing this together. And that includes the NGOs, the content creators, the tech firms, the governments, and other stuff. We have to really work together to overcome some of these challenges. What about BEC? Our effort on this. One of these is training. We have done a lot of training, and Mombasa, one thing that we have tried, we have done a lot of training here. So my people were saying, next time take people to another place. Can you go to Kilifi? Can you go? And then I told them, si huko yote ni Mombasa. They say no. Yeah? They say, well, once we are down here, we are in Mombasa, we have done it in Mombasa. But I'm told, no. Look at this. So that we get, we try to get, also we remove that digital divide. Because if we are only doing it urban center, what we are trying to do is continue with the digital divide. So our effort also has to spread outside the main urban centers. So we are going to try to do more outside Mombasa, within Mombasa, but outside Mombasa. If you understand what I mean, yeah. Yeah. Advocacy, of course, we have done a lot of this as big. Then we have, appeared on different public participation forums. They wanted to ban TikTok. I know the TikTok guys. I met TikTok guys. I'm trying my career there. It's very hard because I can't mimic those things. I've tried, but it's so hard. You people are very good at doing that thing. You see somebody talking there like, that's not in our voice, but like I've tried it and I can't. How do you time it? Akisema la, you are also la. How do you time it? I don't know. I've tried that thing. Yeah, but they were trying to ban TikTok, so we have to advocate for that nonsense not to be done here. TikTok, people, the government people used to say, there's these people who are watching, kids are watching this thing at midnight. I was in one of the forum and I asked I think it was communication, but what are the kids doing at midnight? You as a parent, what are you doing with your kids to be? Even in the media we have this thing called watershed moment, right? Where adults think can be talked about, right? Yeah. So we have to just have a balance, not say ban TikTok. Seriously. Yeah, so we appeared there and we told those guys, this is not the best thing to do. Let's have TikTok in Kenya, let's have this content creation, let's have all these things, because to say the truth, during the Gen Z protests last year, the TikTok and that group, when the media was censored, the media people won't tell you this, but they were told don't hear this thing live. Huh? Yeah, they won't tell you that, but the people who are closely with them, like me, I know. Yeah. The TikTok guys, the video guys on TikTok, they really come out in a strong way. Actually, there's that period where those guys really came out strongly and showing all these protests everywhere in the country. And the power of the video platforms and live streams was so apparent in the country. So we need to have this platform there, because when the media is shut, that's become our light on, right? Yeah, so of course during finance bill also we presented a lot of these, legally with the parliament and that stuff. Then legal action, I was talking about the defending free speech. We had a court case challenging the Computer Misuse Act. We had also a dispute with the ICT authority and also awards. We are celebrating the credible content creators, big awards. In the last 2 to 3 years, we have not done it. I know some of you who are keen probably will ask me, Kachwanya, you're talking about big awards, but you're no longer doing that thing. Yeah, that COVID thing really chapered us, So that period we had a bit of challenges, but now we are revamping it. We are looking at how to do it much better. Plus, the initial Bake Awards was all about bloggers. But as I'm talking about TikTok now, I'm talking about the YouTube, I'm talking about the podcasts. These people are so good that we have to see how to be very inclusive. I think this is probably my last slide. How do we move forward for the connected future? As I said, partnership is one big thing that we need to look at, the multi-sector approach, which include the content creators, government, civil society, the small and high and big tech. We need to see how we work together. Look at digital divide, look at the misinformation issues, Yeah, that is so important, the multi-sector approach. I know some of those words sound strange. Even me, when I was writing there, I was trying to figure out which word doesn't look like government-ish. But I didn't come up with the word. So I just say, okay, I've heard this multi-sector approach thing, so let me just put it there. But the idea is, working together, especially the small people. Yeah, we work together and create a bigger impact. And one big thing is also community empowerment, because if we have that togetherness, then we can empower many communities. That will include training, and I mentioned that, grassroots fact-checking. One thing I like about social media, and this, whenever I talk to government people, I tell them that social media is self-correcting. You know what I mean by self-correcting? If you say something wrong here about him, the next person sitting to you will correct you instantly. Yeah? So social media and digital space is self-correcting. Yeah? And when I talk about grassroots fact-checking, that's what I mean. Yeah? Because it's self-correcting. People correct each other. I mean, there's a lot of fight because when you are told you are wrong, you catch feelings. Yeah? Why do you say this? Some people even block you. But the reality is, even when you block me, what I said, you have taken in. You're not going to repeat it where you have blocked me there. Yeah? You may partition somewhere there, but you're not repeating the nonsense you are saying here. Right? Self-correcting. Yes. So that's important. Yeah, and I call it grassroots fact-checking within the local. So we don't wait for big person to fact-check. Let's just self-correct. Then investment. Of course, these are now government aspects. And I don't know, government, network providers. Yeah, so things like access. That is mostly an effort for the whole country, whether it's the government and internet providers too. And then people buying devices. But obviously, all those devices, yeah. So I thought that was the last one. I had another one. I talked about this. Yeah, I think we did that.
In the beginning, we said it's going to be an interactive session, so don't shy away from asking questions. MKU.
Hello. About the misinformation, recently, Baba vying for the EU seat. Immediately the results were out and I went to the internet to check. I found everyone, these different blogs saying, oh, he pulled out, or everyone giving different stories about it. But I was looking because I think KTN or NTV did not post theirs because they're the people we trust and the people we are going to trust the information they give to us. So as the Bloggers Association, what will you do about the misinformation? And they usually release the blogs faster than the actual stable channels.
Yeah, that's a very important context, but very hard question. The reason why it's hard is one. Yes, so I remember I've seen what you're talking about. I remember this time when they were saying the Djibouti guy has pulled out of the race, and they had even some handshake, which was the old pictures. And during the election day, I remember one person calling me, "Baba's won." Baba's won. Where did you got that? They are looking at the Citizen. I'm also listening to Citizen. I was driving from somewhere. I'm listening to Citizen. No. So, but you see, this is what we call digital literacy or limited Because what the guy had was Kenyan team are confident of winning. But to them, how they had it, Baba's won. Yeah? Yeah, so the question is, what can we do about it? One answer that might not satisfy you where you answer properly is training. Because there's a number of people who come in and say, you need to do something. You need to get to these people and tell them not to do that. That's not going to work. Because first of all, BEC is a membership organization. You have to volunteer to join. We are not a government, we don't force people. And also we don't want the government to have something like forcing you to join. Then they tell you don't like that. We want that we call self-regulation. So self-regulation is what we do. And what happened is you have code of ethics. Now this code of ethics will tell you don't do this, don't do this. If you don't want to subscribe to that, you will be outside it. What do? Nothing we can do. But do we want the government to do something about it? No, we don't want the government to do something. Because that's the crackdown I was talking about. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying media literacy, media education is to me the best thing to work on. It might be very slow in helping in this case, but let's go back to probably some of you who don't read newspaper don't know this, but they also don't think this newspaper that we call tabloids. Yeah. So a long time ago, when people used to buy newspapers, you will go to the newspaper stand. You will find Nation, Standard, Star. But on the side is also the tabloids. Why did the people call them tabloids? Because we know what they are saying. Yes, some truth is there, but the truth, yeah? Yeah. So you buy the trusted. You can buy the tabloids if you want. Some people buy them, but you buy the trusted. Now, the biggest problem we have is that online space is such that because we have so many people who are media illiterate, and that means, I don't mean they don't go to school, they are very smart people, but they are media illiterate. So they vote with their readership for the nonsense, with the bad content. The good content don't get votes. And when I mean vote is when you go and read my content, if it's good content, you are voting, you have trust in me. But if your readership is going to the bad content, you're encouraging that. Yeah. So that's why the answer might not be as nice as you might want it, but to us, media literacy, training,
Also, to add on that, I think it's important if you are on the blogger's route to create credibility on social media. That way it becomes to a point that when you post something, it's easy for people to trust you because they know you only post reliable stuff. Like, for example, me, I was a victim just the other day with the AU thing. I was calling my friends in Uganda telling them, can you imagine Uganda didn't even vote for Raila? Just to find out later that Tanzania and Uganda voted for Raila. But I had just called everyone in Uganda to tell them, can you imagine this guy didn't even vote for Raila? So it can be very hard sometimes to disseminate what's right and what's wrong. But yeah, we need to follow those people who are credible or those people who are known to be credible and to be posting credible information. So bloggers, kazi kwenu. Anyone else who has a question? Yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Joshua Kiono from 001 FM. Siko wakati wa introduction, sorry, nimechelewa kidogo. Kuongeza kwa kitu ambacho mmezungumzia kuhusiana na masuala ya misinformation pale, na pia I think ni ali pia sisi kama waandishi pia tunafaa kuwa na ufahamu, tusome zaidi kama mchakato wa AUC yenye imekuwa ikiendelea sana kuaswa that day ambapo kulikuwa na drop out ya Raila. So watu wengi hawako wanaelewa, je, hii ni kwamba Raila ndiye amejiondoa ama ameondolewa? Na hiyo ni kitu ambayo ukiwa umesoma hiyo sheria yenyewe utaweza kuelewa. Na hii kitu ya misinformation pia jana ilinisumbua sana katika chumba cha habari. Nilipokuwa nimepata habari za Chebukati. Habari nilipata mapema sana, lakini ninapopitia kwa this so-called mainstream big media, no one has posted na mwanahabari mmoja wetu alikuwa ashaiandika, nikaogopa nikasema we Kenya unajua tunaoa watu mapema jamani. tusubiri juu hata ule on air alikuwa ashaanza kufanya kuipeleka, nikamwambia tulia kwanza, unajua sisi tuko chini ya Media Council of Kenya, tusije kesho tukasalimiwa na CA pale kwa ofisi kwa sababu ya nini pale. Lakini pia what I can say is just for us too as bloggers, media, tusome zaidi, tuangalie institution, organization. Je, kama hii kitu ni rais amezungumza, saa hii kuna video zinatoka kwamba ni clip mtu ameunganisha, you cannot until uko very focused ndio utapata kwamba hii voice yake. But if you do more research, learn, usikuwe mwepesi wa kuenda kupost that you want to be the first one to post it will really help on that issue. Thank you.
Before I do that, nataka tufanye some sort of entertainment. I don't know if we can all start. So, misinformation, or it's true information. And one of the ways is actually you have to check the source. Because every information shared on that platform has a source, has someone who has shared it. So you have to check that source. Who to where I'm sharing information? Is it someone that is credible? Is this someone that I can rely on? So you can go ahead and even look for their credentials and affiliations. Huyu jamaa ameandika hivi kuhusu baba. Huyu ni mtu wa Ruto ama ni mtu wa Munyoro? Nasikia siku kuna wa Munyoro. So such affiliations. Then the other thing is you have to cross-verify information. Don't just come around an information which will come a gospel truth. Go ahead and verify the information. Check for reliable sources. Kama vile mwenzetu hapa amesema jana alina information ya Chebukati amefariki, lakini sasa akashindwa hii information ni kweli, maana wengine sijaona kwa hizi sources zingine ambazo are very credible. So that what he did is cross verify the information, which is very much important. Don't just take it as a gospel truth. So then the other thing is analyze the content. Go through the content, then analyze it. Is it sensational? Is it emotional? Kuna lugha gani imetumika hapo? Because kuna some information itakuwa shared kwa na lugha ni chafu, lugha ni mbaya. So that means at least kuna ka sio get popo. Then the other thing, check the date of the information. Siku hizi unaweza pata kitu imekuwa shared kwa social media and it's something that happened 2-3 years ago. So if someone decided to share that information, that someone has an intent while sharing that information. So it's probably misinformation. Sababu ni information ya zamani sana lakini ameamua anashare na wewe leo. Sawa? Are we clear mpaka? Then the other thing is evaluate the purpose. Why is this person sharing this information? What is his or her intention of him or her sharing that information? Am I clear? So before we go to the impact of misinformation, maybe kuna swali about the how to verify or identify misinformation. So misinformation has several impacts. One of them is social impact. And among the social impact, it actually erodes public trust, especially in the media and in institutions. And then the other thing is it actually polarizes communities and increases social tensions. And also during crisis, it can lead to public harm and panic. A very good example in hapa Mombasa during the COVID-19. There was a lot of misinformation going around, especially kuhusu zile vaccine, zile jab. Na hiyo ikalidi mpaka Old Town ikakuwa locked. Sababu watu wa Old Town walikuwa wataki zile sindano. Wanasema sijui kudungwa ile sindano, mara wengine wanasema kudungwa sindano pata mapepo usiku, mara utakuwa infertile. So ikabidi Joe akawa mkali. By that time Joe was the governor. So nakumbuka mpaka ikabidi aende akafanya press conference hapo Fort Jesus, aite all the security apparatus, wakasema wanailock. Watu wa Old Town hawafai kutoka nje, wala watu kutoka nje hawafai kuingia Old Town. Maana watu wa Old Town walikuwa wajeuri. hawataki kudungwa chanjo sababu wanasema ile chanjo mbaya. So that was misinformation. And then another impact of misinformation, it also political. It can impact politically, and this actually it can influence public opinion and election outcomes. And this happens a lot hapa kwetu. It also undermines democratic processes by spreading false narratives that can lead to policy decisions based on false information, because the information itself is false. Let's take a look at the economic impact of misinformation. So misinformation, economically, it affects market stability. Mir, hapa si kweli? Yeah, Mir, you are in the business world and you understand how it affects. So it affects market stability and investor confidence, and it also damages reputations of companies and individuals, thus leading to loss, financial loss. Psychological impact. Misinformation also has an impact on you who is consuming that information psychologically. So, one of the ways it actually can create confusion and anxiety kwa wewe ambao una consume ile information. And it also leads to the spread of conspiracy theories. We all know conspiracy theories, which can affect your mental well-being, and it also can mitigate the negative, or rather, it can be. You have to be vigilant, skeptical, and proactive in verifying information, which can help you mitigate the negative effects of misinformation and disinformation. So I think mine is just that. But before I go and take my seat and leave the space for Maureen Moody from Media Council of Kenya. There's a small video here I want to share with you about misinformation and the current digital era. Like them practical.
Sasa wamekuja na ile mtindo ambao wanachukua hadi poster making yenyu, design yenyu pale inakuwa wanaandika exact the same way, and I've seen that problem nation kipitia sana pale. So such information, how do you verify? Hauna source hapo, you are just taking it from mtandao pale, exactly the same way, the same thing pale mtu amepost pale. Based on what he said, there is also this new type of misinformation era based on AI, and majorly in affect sana watu, okay, mostly those who use Facebook, TikTok, mostly TikTok, and nowadays most people depend on TikTok to get news.
Also, you've talked about coming across a poster.
Bridging the digital divide and ensuring communities have access to accurate information. Maureen.
Good question. Actually, we started from where I wanted to talk. Where am I a woman? Here now. No, I'm not a woman because I'm presenting. He's very right. If you see someone asking you that, huyu ni mtu amesoma vitu za gender. We don't own a media house. We regulate the media space. Kachwani was talking about government and other words that don't look like government. We are an independent institution, although funded by the government. Our structure is almost similar to the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights. So we are very independent. Our main stakeholders are the media stakeholders, including journalists, including content creators, anyone who is in the media space. So those are the people that we call them our primary stakeholders. So now, at Media Council of Kenya, one of our areas we have, we do a lot of analysis. We check on the content that goes out. tuangalie Tali aliamua kuandika nini Radio Kaya, tuangalie mrembo hapa wa Radio aliamua kutuma nini kama story. We check on that a lot because we want at the end of the day there is responsible production of news and even responsible consumption of the same news. So we have fact checkers who fall under the Department of Research and Strategy. Yeah, so the guy who's helping me is one of our guys who do a lot of media analysis. He's a media analyst. So we have fact checkers in the house as well. So please, for the students who don't understand about fact checking, please, you can come to Media Council once in a while. We have experts in the house who can show you the tools that you can use in your small spaces. And then again, we also have a program called Media Information and Digital Literacy. So a week ago, when we were celebrating World Radio Day, we decided to not just maintain our programs kwa hawa watu ambao tayari wako na IDs, ambao tayari wanafanya kazi. So we went down to the level of high schools. So now we took our program on media information literacy to high schools. Because at the end of the day, they have what they call press clubs in schools, they have journalism clubs in schools. So how do we impart in them knowledge that can enable them to consume information responsibly, to give out information responsibly? Remember what happened at Gen Z? Yeah? Walifika parliament because of how they used to communicate on X, we call it X, on X and other platforms. So we cannot ignore that kind of generation that is coming up, and they have a lot to offer. So why not start from when they are young? So that tells me, hata kama wewe ni mwanafunzi sahizi, please don't think vile Kachwanya amesema media tayari kuna shida ya kazi, you don't have your own space to grow. There's space for you to grow. There's space for you to develop and try. And please, I hope you're not counting my time already. I'm being set up. Kenya. One photo is for these students who are really trying to study, but now all they can afford is a blackboard from C2. And the way you can see these ones, there are people who are living a nomadic life. Ukiona hapo maybe kuna mtu amefungia ng'ombe zake hapo karibu, after class they go to take care of the herd because baba atampiga kama hajachunga ng'ombe. The other side is a picture of students who are lucky enough to have some gadgets they can use, which by the way they are very lucky because during our days we didn't see these things. So now we were those ages of typewriter. Nilipata typewriter. Mimi nilipata kama inatoka. So sijazeeka sana, and diskettes. And diskettes, those things, diskette. What? Those things. So we were not lucky to have these things. But now these are things that are happening. Na serikali nilikumbuka kwa party ya kusema na kutenga na kufanya, this government promised students and children ya kwamba watawapatia laptops. Sio? Si tulikuwa promise, that's the other day. So let's not go to the merits and the merits of what happened. But now this is what is happening in Kenya. You can see the urban and rural gap that is there. Clearly, those who live in rural setups cannot enjoy the same privileges with those who live in urban setups. Na rural tusiende mbali, hata tukivuka hapa ferry by the tukienda Kwale is already rural. What tunaita watu wa bara, huku pia ni bara in its own way. Ni vile tu kuna, yes, kijijini, kule ni bara, naam, ndio hivyo sasa. So ukiangalia pia affordability like Kachwanya mentioned, at times it's not easy. During our days when we were in the newsroom and the phones came to be, I was covering elections. I was expected to cover my first ever elections in 2002. Niko newsroom, sina simu. Msicheke sikuwa na simu because nobody had a phone that time, by the way. So I was living with my brother-in-law, and he had happened to buy a Sagem phone. Sika mnaweza jua miki Sagem. Sagem, nilikuwa inaitwa Sagem. Nilikuwa natoshana kama radio hivi. iko mpaka saizi. Ka big gadget hivi, and I was so happy by the way I covered with it elections. It was not a smartphone, but at least it helped me understand now how I could maneuver my way na kunini. So you can see even those days, hata kununua credit was a problem. You could not buy credit. It was very expensive. It was not affordable. So we've come down to the time whereby unaweza scratch kabambe, si kabambe, unaweza fuliza. Mimi hata sasa niko kwa fuliza, hata Douglas alinisikia juzi nikisema niko kwa fuliza. Those things were not there those days. If you are broke like 100%. Nowadays, if we are broke like now, we don't look like our problems because we hide some of these things because of what technology can help us do, right? So again, connectivity issues. Serikali pia kwa part ya kutenga na kufanya, unaona they go down up to mashinani. They've been trying to install Wi-Fi everywhere na nini. You go to some hotspot areas, unapata kuna vile kuna nini connectivity, but kwetu kijijini bado haijafika, so we are still hopeful serikali itazidi kutenga, so we're waiting for that. Then digital literacy, I mentioned this, I don't want to go back there. We are trying to impact the values and culture of you just trying to embrace mambo ya digital from the word go. Media information literacy, digital literacy is very, very important to just understand what goes on and how can you now use the platforms available to do your work. So I try to look a bit on some statistics from CA. They are not mine. I didn't get them from my head. Disclaimer, I was very poor in maths. Nilipata D. But here I am, and I was among the highest na hiyo D yangu. In our school, na huyo mwalimu wa maths alikuwa anatuchapa sana. Imagine I was among the highest. I'll not tell you. But now the irony of this life, part of what I earn is from doing finances. Imagine. Nafundisha watu ma figures. Where is my maths teacher? So internet penetration in Kenya, hizi ni statistics as late as 2024. Internet penetration, unapata sasa tuko na 22.71 million users who are using the internet. At least internet imefika mashinani kidogo. But still the figures are low because that is a prediction of 40.8%. Then mobile phone devices, watu wana simu nyingi sana Kenya kuliko hata wananchi wa Kenya. How many are we? Population ya Kenya. Please know these statistics. Niliwahi ulizwa kwa interview. You can just say I didn't get that job because I didn't know that question, that answer. Yes. We can estimate we are 50-something, 55, 54 million Kenyans. So you can imagine, this means kuna watu, they have more than one device. Kuna watu wana gadgets, then kuna sisi. So, yeah. So the penetration rate is at 131.5%. So social media users wanazidi kupanda. And this one, it's all the platforms that we'll talk about. Every day there's a new platform. The other day we were when we talk about AI, kuna mambo ya DeepSeek. Tulikuwa tulishaanza kuzoea ChatGPT. Sasa kidogo tumeambiwa DeepSeek. Pia kuna deepfake huko. Lazima you should know what is happening in the social media arena. And now for the platform. And because you guys are tech savvy, not like me and Kachwani. Sorry, we are using ourselves as a bad example. We are the old ones here. Not like us and our fathers. You see, you are the ones who you'll sit down with your parents mwambie, now you can use your phone like this. Hapa ndio kwa bora msiende kwa nini yao apps zao za M-Pesa and then you do some funny stuff that I see my nephews do with my mom. Don't do those stuff. At least show them what they need to do on their phones. My mom has a smartphone, but she doesn't understand so much about that smartphone. Anajaribu. Hata nikimtumia picha kwa WhatsApp, she will take some days. Because of what? The issues that we addressed, connectivity, unaona, ni shida. And then again, most of the time she doesn't have the phone. Ni nephews wana run your phone. So social media users tuko wengi. And then mobile data subscriptions pia zimepanda. And you can find...
Apart from her heavy grammatical words, can we call her content? Can we refer it to or disinformation? What's that?
Okay, you know, I don't have a lawyer, by the way. I don't have a lawyer, and I don't know if there's someone who is a friend to Maverick, so I don't want to be quoted anyway. We teach Mombasa ethics a lot. We teach them, so apparently You see, the way it is, some bloggers are hired bloggers, right? So they produce content depending on who is paying them, the highest bidder. And you can see for Maverick, she's been so much involved on the ongoings of the political scenario, right from where she was on the right side until now she's no longer on the right side. So she tells a lot of what happens behind the scene. Hata kikutana na mtu fulani atasema nikutana na mtu fulani. Hata kuna politician huko Coast, she always declares huyo ndo mtu anasikiza peke yake, asikizi mtu mwingine, huyo akimwambia atasikiza. So you see, like for her, it could be both. It could be both. She misinforms and she disinforms intentionally and unintentionally. Because hata kuna nyingine alishasema Uhuru Kenyatta is sick, is going. So we were just there waiting for us to start typing RIP, 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 kama ya Chebukati. You know Chebukati was killed so many times. But after that, Uhuru aka-emerge and he looked stronger, although you know how cancer affects people. He cannot be the same, but he's okay, he's doing fine, and we thank God. And we miss him anyway. We miss him, I miss him. We were better with him. So that is what it is. I want to go very fast, Nyonimalize. I was part of, you've seen that Colmena? From 2021, 2022, and 2023, I was privileged to be part of a network that was collaborating on content creation, especially after COVID. So it's a DW project. So I was the coordinator for the Swahili speakers, including people in Tanzania, people in Kenya. Nakumbuka tulikuwa na Pwani FM huku, tulikuwa na Radio Salam. Yeah, we had Radio Rahma. We had some other stations, including Zanje. So what we are doing with this platform, we were a network of communicators. So for us, our work was to train journalists, to train content creators on how now they can build on communicating, even without issues network ama nini, because when COVID happened, who knew we could go to Zoom and do a meeting? Who knew we could do what? We could even do interviews online. These things were not there until COVID hit us. So Colmena was a product of COVID, and it gave communities a new reflection on how to look at life. So Colmena was just a toolbox to create content and to share content. Sasa hata ukienda mashinani, you could share your content with your community, hata bila network, hata bila bundles, hata bila anything. So it's a project that was paused for some time because it's still under development, but it's a very, very nice project. I would not wish to go to the details because again, saizi hawanilipi. So kwa sababu tumepause, wacha nimeshawasema, but when we go on, we will talk about it. So you need to leverage on social media and podcasts. Podcasters who are si wengi, especially this region, so that's still very, very untapped. I know very few. If you know many, please contact them. Tuambie na watafuta. Hapa najua I think 3. Najua Ken, najua Ruth. Who is a podcaster here? I could be going far na podcaster. Hatuna. Okay, so that tells you there's still some space to be occupied by you guys. So you can use low bandwidth content. Because again, remember, hata wewe pia kando na wale wa mashinani, kuna wale wewe mwenyewe unaweza kuwa mahali hakuna network, or you are going to cover a presidential function or a function that has a lot of VIPs. You know, there's a way they tamper with the network. So you cannot do anything about it. So when you learn about mambo ya digital safety and everything, there are some things you can use to make sure kwamba hata kama uko mahali, you can still communicate, you can still pass information. Then community-based content hubs, I'll not talk much about it. I think partnerships, Kachwanya explained, so nitaruka hapo, so that we finish. Naona tu ananiangalia na macho za njaa. So now, how do you reach the unconnected as a content creator? Tumeongea sana juu ya going to places whereby people hawana network. Unaona? One, you need to create offline content. Wakati wetu ilikuwa ni discs. Wewe ulipata disc? Hukupata. Disc ilikuwa inaingizwa kwa ile kitu ilikuwa kama nini. So you save your information there, you save kwa disk una nini. So saizi you have USBs. USBs replace discs. Nilipata disk, but huko sure. Hukutumia. So uliona. So now, for you to be able to create offline content, you create your content and you use the traditional methods. Like you can also you optimize for low bandwidth. Like you use things that are not consuming a lot of need. Because unajua pia ni zingine hata airtime ni shida, si ndio? So these things can help you. Yeah? So that you don't suffer and not give information because now you are not able to. And then local language content, very important. We should not only always be keeping it English, to diversify. And then community-based initiatives. Kutana na watu kwa community. Zungumza nao, especially for those who work for community radio stations. There's a lot of impact. They will tell you a lot of stories. They will tell you a lot of things that will make your work even better and appreciate what they do. Hii nitapitia tu, because at the end of the day we believe when you have your content, you need to monetize it. You cannot just always be creating content for fun. Kena, wewe una monetize? Yes, he's monetizing. Hata nitamweka next time nitakuweka kwa hiyo slide. Takuwa kando yake na hapo. Yeah. Because now if you are producing content, you should monetize that content in a way that it will bring you something. Isiwe tu ni kazi tu unaweka tu hapo bure. And I have a task in the coming weeks to just organize a training on monetization of content. But it's a topic that is very close to my heart. So I always make sure that I put this slide for anyone who is interested. So you liaise with Kachanya, then we'll organize something for online. Siku hizi bila kuna pesa serikali na tunafanya mambo online kidogo so that we can still keep things moving. So for here, I just want to pick, which one should I pick? Katonya talked about revenue, ad revenue, sponsored content, but your content must be good enough for it to be monetized. You cannot monetize something you've not invested in. Unaona? Kuna watu jana walikuwa nasema their accounts were banned, their accounts were closed, I don't know, they were hacked. But we learned, saa hizi you cannot have fake followers like robots. Unapata mtu wako na 2.5 million followers wenye hawako. So some accounts have been zinashatiwa down. And Kachonya said, yeah, akona blog yake. His blog will go on. He will write about anything. So msione TikTok is there to stay. We are almost being locked out thanks to hii mambo inaendelea huko kwa wazungu, but we are still there. So the last slide I want to share is how we can work together as a media council and content creators. So one of our areas, our main areas, we promote ethical and responsible content creation. How do we do this? We have already set the standards for the practice of journalism or media practitioners, whatever you do in content creation. There's this code of conduct. We have a few that we need to take round. If you need a copy, we will give you. Okay, kuna mwenye hajaiona code of conduct, this booklet. There's someone who has never interacted with it. Awe nitakupata mbili, because wewe ni marketer. Wewe nitakupa mbili, ya do marketers, sawa? This code of conduct, we normally call it the small Bible or a Quran for a journalist because it tells you what you need to do, the do's and don'ts. So once we train you on the code, you don't have a reason to go against the ethical considerations you're supposed to be adhering to. So we do a lot of that. We capacity build. Like now, this is one of the sessions we're just training you and taking you through the what is in the industry and what you need to do. Nyi wawili si mnacheka sana, mrembo. You want to share the joke? Can be a good energizer as I finish because I'm almost finishing. Then again, we do a lot of advocacy, like the story I told you about. At times, we understand getting information in the field is normally not easy. Unaenda mahali unapata polisi alikosana na mtu huko nje, maybe apendi sura yako, ashakutukana, ashakufukuza, unaona? Ashakwambia hata kazi yako ni nini? Si walipigwa hata hapa feri wakati wa COVID. Bure tu, imagine. Bure tu. Somebody just doesn't like you. Ama amekuona unaongea sana kama mimi, ashakufukuza hapo. Unaona? So we normally engage even security forces, we engage decision makers and tell them the work of journalists, because you know Article 33, 34 and 35 gives us the right to perform our work. But again, remember, rights come with limitations. So that you don't go as a journalist unaenda, ama content creator unaenda pale State House, unaanza kupiga picha. Then unatoa card hapo, unasema kwani hujui mimi ni mwandishi wa habari? It's not allowed. Ama you want to get somewhere by force, unasema ama umeshikwa, alafu unasema zile za unijua kwani unisikie kwa radio, wewe unisikie kwa radio, you already see yourself very famous for the wrong reasons. Yeah, so you need to, by the way, as you grow, be humble. Be humble, it will take you far. You could be someone very senior in the society, but you don't show it, right? That is how people grow. Then I want to talk about Ajaya, because that is one of the areas we support. At times we give grants to journalists. During COVID again, we had a lot of grants for media houses because they were shutting down. Until now, Ajaya recover. So we could just decide leo tunapeana maybe 100,000 to Radio Rahma. Simlipata ali, ama nadanganya. We used to give grants because we understood sustainability of media houses was a challenge by then. So we used to give them money, they decide whether they want to pay their staff, they decide whether they want to pay rent. So that was our contribution. We still do once in a while, not even once in a while, you are a beneficiary. Simekula pesa kiasi, wamekula 100 mara mbili za Media Council. And I'm mentioning Mombasa Press Club because it is one of the very vibrant press clubs in Kenya. Makofi kwa Ali. Makofi kwa Ali na Omar. Kulikuwa na issues hizo kidogo but tumetatua, so we are on the right course. If you are not a member of the Mombasa Press Club, please join. It was a brainchild of Media Council, and we even moved ahead to make sure that we gave them space to operate from. So Media Council, we came up with an idea of coming up with the media hubs. And naonanga LinkedIn tunasema, I am happy to report ya kuwa the Mombasa Media Hub is the only media hub with a studio. Zile zingine, makofi piga tu. It is the only media hub with a studio. The others ziko tu hivyo, unaingia tu kama unaingia kwa nyumba na unatoka, sisema kwa ubaya, lakini I must be proud of the achievements that we. Mtu anaringa kama bado ako hai. You give me my flowers, I'm still alive. Nikikupa msilete maua kwa kaburi yangu, please give them to me now. So it's a place you can just go, you sit, you work. We are trying to make sure that it's very conducive, and we can increase maybe a few more computers, desktops, a few more facilities. Pale, kama I know the most urgent thing they need pale ni lighting for the studio. So those are things we're trying to work on. Jana tulienda hapo na mdosi. Muliona vile ali spread mapicha kwa groups. I was the photographer. Imagine. But anyway, it's fine. So my boss was there. He gave a few seats from his pocket. I have a good boss, and I consider kama kuna shida mahali anasort. So kuna viti zimeongezwa. So if you went there na unaona kuna viti, now there are more seats that you can just go and work from there. Kuna TV, kuna maji. Kwa Waluya poleni, hakuna chai. But we are somewhere. Mkuja na kahawa mtachemsha maji. Last one, there's another one in Malindi. There's a place called Maono Space. There's another media hub. And the beauty about the hubs in Mombasa region, I'm very deliberate when I say Mombasa region, because even my title is for Mombasa region, but Mombasa region means coast. Si ile akatuana ile. Yes. So for Malindi we have another one, and it's also a collaborative space. So that is where waandishi wanaenda, and we want to plan next week to enda. If you'll be in Malindi, we'll be doing some trainings huko next week or the other week. Sawa. So the last one, before I welcome questions, the last slide. When you go to our site, I've talked about Ajaya, and I don't want to leave this place without mentioning about this. Tumesema iko Mei. Deadline hapo nimeona ni this month. 28th of February. So we're almost at the deadline. So if you have 21 million tarehe ngapi? No, it's not passed. No. That's 28. Shika. No, the 28th. But then try this one so you can make faces. I can't see. So the deadline is 28th, midnight. The categories are there. I don't want to belabor on them because I talked about them when we were setting up. Please go to our website and see where you can apply. Just try. If you're an environmental reporter, if you're an investigative reporter, there are so many opportunities for you. Yeah? You don't need to be employed somewhere. Hata wale mko skuli, by the way, feel free to apply. If you have done an article or you've had something aired and it's been published or broadcast on your school, whatever, submit it. Sawa, submit it. Ukiwa na issue, let me know. Kachonya has my number, nitachukua kwake. Ama mwenye nataka nitampatia pia. Me, I don't have a problem giving my number out. And if you have a challenge, please make sure that you are already accredited, because one of the qualifications is you must be accredited for you to participate in these awards. So I want to see you in May. We are always very elegant. Si kama sasa tumekaa kienyeji mambo ya weekend. Hiyo award huwa ni moto. Just Google, mtaona vile inakaa. So nawaambia kwa ufupi, please apply. Let's go and get the awards. Sawa sawa. Thank you so much for your time. If there's any question, any comment.
Nataka nipeane remark kwa mtu mmoja, apeane remarks from one of you guys. Takeaways. I want to give this microphone to those people who have not spoken a word before coming to this room. Abo nyuma. Let me give this to you, KT MC. Please say something. Your next employers could be here.
Good afternoon. Thanks for the opportunity. My name is Triza Oma. Sorry I came in late. I am the founder of Kenya Television Media News, that is ktmn.co.ke. Asante sana, our boss Maureen, for the content ambao umetupa, walimu wako. Bado tuko kwa hii safari na I believe we are still learning, and there are more people wenye wanakuja on board, wanaendelea kusoma. We are grasping whatever you are telling us na tutazi actualize. I'm so happy to see the new faces and the old faces, of course. Not really old, but the faces that I've seen before. Yeah. Napenda kusema kuwa in content creation, it's not really about the money, but the deals you get out of it. Because kama mimi naweza sema kwa hii website yangu, yes, there are ads, but utapata hizo ads, they're not really the main source of revenue. But katika ile deal ambao unapata kutumia hiyo media platform, ina matter sana. Who is able to see this? This one. Yes. Yeah, for those of you who know these global conferences, including the UN, most of these things unapata connections zao kupitia ile content ambao una create. If you focus on climate change, if you focus on gender, if you focus on maybe reduced inequalities, ukienda na hiyo route, those people you meet, if today nimekutana na Talia, simjui, nataka kujua Talia ni nani, anafanya nini, just through that, the next month naweza shtukia niko Switzerland, courtesy of just a simple introduction ambao nilifanya na mtu. Sasa networking kwa hii content creation is a big deal, and if we go that way, it's the new million, I can say. Yeah. Asanteni. Mimi nikipewa mic nitaongea hadi kesho.
Meskia. So I've taken some things from her. For those people who want to get into a platform, don't let imposter syndrome be the reason as to why you don't put your content out there. For example, in 2021, I used to have a TikTok, but I used to just go on TikTok and watch other people's video. And then one day I posted my 5.5 million, and I still put up my content, and every week I have a viral video. So don't let imposter syndrome get to you. Don't let people who are leaving negative comments on your page get to you, put your content out there. Fulani anafanya kitu fulani, let me call her nilichukua namba yake. So that's how people get to you. Si mambo ya kujuana per se, but it's because if you get invited to a conference, you take an opportunity to get to know another person. Also in the universities you guys are. When I was at technical university, I didn't really create a community. But then now, 2 years later, because I graduated in 2023, I wish I had a community. Because I have so many ideas, I wish I had done them there. So if you guys are in a group of people, anzeni kuandika gazeti la shule, anzeni kufanya content ya podcast, make a YouTube, you know, like form a community where you can do something within yourselves. Kwa sababu, unaona podcast, kuna content nyingi za ningesema ni vitu za upuzi, but watu wana watch. Hata mimi I watch 3 Army Men. And people say, oh, why would you watch them? But I watch them because they're interesting. They appeal to me. So don't be afraid of putting your content out there. And with that being said, I want to give a shout out to Bloggers Association of Kenya. We really want you guys to bring more of these conferences and more of these conversations to coast, especially huko mashinani. Msiseme Mombasa mkakwamia hapa CBD. Muingie huko Kilifi, Malindi, wapi. People need to hear this good news. Also shout out to you guys who have been able to take your time to be here. Msitoke hapa bila kujua jirani yako yofanya nini, wala ametoka wapi, wala yajihusisha na nini. Mimi jina langu naitwa Fatuma Masare Ramadhan, but a lot of people know me as Fatuma Ramadhan. If you go on any kind of platform, even Red Note, niko hapo as Fatuma Ramadhan, you'll find me there. I have a community-based organization in Kilifi. So I do a crochet academy in Kilifi. I teach girls how to crochet. During the school holiday, I have a number of girls nawaeka pamoja tuashona just to engage them. Kilifi has been one of the counties that imekuwa affected sana na teenage pregnancies. So I'm trying to see if our organization can help curb that. I also do crochet as a means of income. And then I'm a student of journalism. I don't practice, but with a degree in journalism or with a diploma in journalism, you can really penya mahali popote. County, kwa PR, kwa watu wa NGO. So with a certificate of journalism, you can really be anywhere. Uweze kuata kwa hospitali hapo, kwa ukawa dentist hapo, kwa office desk una welcome watu, because we've studied communication. So don't shy away from this with these opportunities ambazo ziko karibu na sisi. And again, put your content out there. And with that being said, asanteni sana. Hivyo ndo nimemaliza. Muongee, mjuane.
Yeah, thank you. I think this has been a very great session. And thank you, Fatuma, for first agreeing in the short notice to moderate our session today. I think you guys need to appreciate her more. If you know when I told her that she will be moderating, that is, if you know when I told her that she will be moderating this session. And she was like, where's the program? Yeah, I will do it. She was reminding me, you know, I'm also a journalist and I do this thing. Okay, so within, like this one we were talking yesterday, I think. What was the time? Because I was on the train and I was struggling to get the internet to, you know, communicate with different people. So when I finished with Maureen on one side and other people, then I was like, oh, the person moderating is not there. What are we going to do? You know, I can do it. So she saved us. So thank you very much. Yeah. So thank you very much. And this, I think, Mombasa Press Club, you know, these guys have helped us down here because usually when we come here, we reach out because he's one of our trainers. You know, big, we have a number of trainers. So Omidala is one of our trainers. So we are partnered with them in a number of issues. And Maureen, as she was telling you, we have worked with Maureen for a while. And these partnerships are very good. So I would love you guys to have this connection. Don't look at somebody next to you and thinking, you know what, it's not big enough. You never know. The person who is a student is the next CEO of a big organization in the future. Yeah, so today. This has happened several times. There's a time when I was working with somebody at, she was an intern at one of these, not Nakumat. The other one, which one is which one? It's Nakumat, not Naivas, Naivas Jakufa. Tuskies, yeah, she was at the Tuskies as an intern. So then, yeah, just connection. I was working with the boss, her boss at the time, and then I forgot about it for a while. The next time I was meeting her, she was now the brand manager at the brand Kenya. And you know, bloggers, we always looking for these businesses. So you know, we want to market Tembea Kenya. You can walk there and Allah, yeah. So you never know. The person sitting next to you now might not have the big chair. So you will be running to go and talk to Maureen, but you are leaving the one next to you, yeah. So please, before you reach to Maureen, know the person next to you, know what they are doing, take their cards. Yeah, but I'm not saying we do not talk to the big boss, Maureen. I'm just saying that there is what we call now, immediate future, and long term. Yeah, so there's the long term next to you, immediate, medium term next to you, and then there's now Maureen there, and Omidala now. Yeah, so I'm just saying that let's know each other, let's have that networking, because that is part of this event, we network, and also, you know, everyone was like talking about cards, so I was feeling so guilty. I know my people were like, why didn't you talk about Bake card? Yeah. So, I mean, like, before you go to Media Council, if you're a content creator, because sometimes you are not a trained journalist, and sometimes you don't have the Media Council access card. Bake card, yeah, at this point is accepted. Because one thing also we have done with the Media Council is also we have tried to have a situation where there's that bridge in between. Yeah, so for those guys who are not journalists per se, you're bloggers, you're content creators, yeah, join Big. Let's have you get a card, Big card. And I tell you for sure that wherever I go with my Big card, I'm accepted. They never turn me away. So it's accepted as a card, a press card, just like the one for the Media Council. So those guys who are just content creators, and you are not journalists, so you're not able to get that from Media Council, remember to have the Big card, you will have the same access with the same opportunities. Again, thank you very much. I think we are one. I wanted us to finish exactly at 1, which is exactly that. Because we started at 10, we were meant to start at 9, but we started at 10, so 1 hour later. Yeah, so then we have, I think we're going to have lunch, yes, so there has to be good lunch. And on the side, you can see my accountant there. She might help with something if she is generous enough. Maybe transport. I don't know, but she would tell you. I don't know what she is planning. But, yeah. Yes, so she will decide. Yeah, Hannah is the one who handled that. So if you need this, usitembea bag, at least it's a day in a bus fare. But thank you very much. Thank you, Maureen, for accepting your invite to come and share with us. The other team, Midana, thank you very much. And all the journalists in the house, students in the house, content creators in the house, media marketer, digital marketers, and those people who do TikTok. I want you guys to teach me a little bit how. Seriously, these things I've tried. I told my people all the time, I want to start my TikTok career. I started all the careers. I have my Facebook career. Twitter career is thriving. Yeah? Blogging career is thriving, but TikTok. What can I do with TikTok?